But Bucky Brooks is over at NFL Network, and he suggested that, now Justin Fields, we don't anticipate, contrary to what Chris Sims believes, we don't anticipate Justin Fields will even be in range for the Baltimore Ravens to take him. But if he were to fall to the end of the first round, which, crazier things have happened. If he were to fall to the end of the first round, Bucky Brooks proposed that the Ravens, who are known for letting the board come to them and taking the best player available, that they could take a collegiate approach to the quarterback position and cash in on a Justin Fields. Then maybe they operate like a college team. One quarterback graduates, the other quarterback steps into the starter's role. You now have the opportunity to keep a starting quarterback potentially on a young deal. Build up the rest of the assets, and then play smash mouth football the way that they play and continue to build a better team around the quarterback. It's something to think about. All right, so it's ridiculous because they have Lamar Jackson, who I don't even know if Lamar is 25 years old as of yet, who's already won an MVP. So it's ridiculous to think about moving on from Lamar Jackson. But I found it interesting nonetheless, and this is probably what happens when you have so much time on your hands to think about this kind of stuff leading up to the draft, but they got to sign Lamar Jackson to a mammoth contract the same way every NFL team, if you find a star quarterback, eventually has to sign that quarterback to a mammoth contract at the expense of the rest of the team in many respects. Like, having a good quarterback on a rookie deal is invaluable when it comes to building out your roster. So, to quote Chris Rock, I ain't saying I do it, but I understand. Like, I get the logic. There's no way I let Lamar Jackson go. But if for some reason you can't sign him, and if you don't want to sign him to the money that he wants and lose your ability to build a capable team around him, having a quarterback waiting in the wings. Look, Ron Wolf was doing it for years. Now, he wasn't drafting in the first round. He wasn't drafting quarterbacks in the first round. That's always been good NFL business. The Eagles are trying to do it, not in the first round, not when you have a Lamar Jackson, but it's good to be in the business of developing and if you're lucky, flipping quarterbacks. They're just good assets, but on a rookie deal, they're especially valuable. So I just thought that was interesting. Again, I don't agree with it. If I were the Ravens in particular, I wouldn't do it. But I just thought it was an interesting commentary where there's so many things being said. It was probably the most unique thing I've heard in a long time, the idea of having a 24-year-old MVP quarterback and saying, well, here's a quarterback. We're going to draft a quarterback in case that guy doesn't, we don't want to sign that guy for the money that he's earned.
You said unique. That's funny.
Was that
you quoted Chris Rock.
That was nice?
You quoted Chris Rock.
Was that really nice?
I'm gonna quote Chris Rock too. Talking about keeping it real dumb. That was dumb. Hey man, look, I'm gonna give you a visual.
Dumb.
I want you to. That was a dumb take. I'm not saying he's a dumb guy. It's a dumb take. I want you to take your Bucky Brooks rookie card. Just tear it up. Tear it up.
You know what? You're not a nice person. You're not a nice person.
No, and
you're not a nice
I'm
person.
empowered. I'm empowered and inspired by my brother Michael Smith. My brother Michael Smith says,
you're not being kind right now.
My brother Michael Smith said, don't care about what other people want you to do. You do what you want to do. So I used to be nice. I used to be accommodating. I'm not going to accommodate that dumb take.
You ain't got time for that.
You
old, man. You're 52 years old. You ain't got time to be
51.
Entertaining foolishness at 52 years old?
51. And you're 42. But, and Ron Wolf, what Ron Wolf did? Yeah, he would draft a quarterback in the third or fourth round and trade him and hold on to the primary guy. Mm-hmm. Like, why do you want an MVP quarterback to graduate? You get an MVP and then you leave? He's a good quarterback. He's a great quarterback. Why?
It's a great quarterback. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
It's unique because it's not that good. It just logically, it just falls apart.
Maybe it's right church, wrong pew. How about this? Right church, wrong pew. As in his general thinking when it comes to team building Maybe Lamar Jackson is a piss poor example. You know what I mean? Because like a world in which the Ravens don't sign
Not
Lamar
maybe.
Jackson, you know. But generally speaking, I think what he's speaking to is the value of having a quarterback on a rookie deal. That was one of the, not the only thing, but that was one of the driving forces behind Sam Darnold being shipped out of New York. Not that the Jets thought of as highly of Sam Darnold as they do of Zach Wilson, but you get to reset with Zach Wilson on a rookie contract versus having to guarantee the 5th year for Sam Darnold. Now you got another 5 years. I guess it's what happens when personnel types kind of start overthinking things. But I'm not gonna call it dumb. It's out there.
Okay.
But
Hey.
But I wouldn't do it. Of course I wouldn't do it. You know.
I will say this. The pandemic does play tricks on your mind a little bit. I'm serious. The pandemic, with all this time, you tell me you didn't go through this. Pandemic, you started getting really introspective, or word of the day, contemplative. You start thinking about all these things. And I know during the pandemic, I even shared it with you. I'm not going to get into details, but at one point I said, why am I doing this? Maybe I'll just walk the earth like Cain in Kung Fu. I don't know. But I was going to.
Without a job, residence, a legal tender. Make sure.
I don't know. It's pandemic. Man, it's pandemic logic for Bucky Brooks. He'll be back. He'll snap out of it. Once we get that, everybody gets more vaccinated, he'll snap out.
Let's get smarter. Charles Robinson coming up after the break. He's standing by. Look, it's hard to say something that stands out. At least say this for him. It stood out. You know? It stood out.
Okay. Oh, Patrick Mahomes is overrated. Patrick Mahomes should be cut. I mean, you can say anything that stands out. Don't make it good.